अंकिता हत्तीहोळी, अंकिता, चंद्रशेखर पत्तार,
प्रेजेंट सर, प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके. हर्षगौಡ आर पाटील, हर्षगौಡ, जानवी, जानवी कन्नीनायकर, महादेव, महादेव वडेर, ओके ओके. मोहम्मद मजहर, मोहम्मद, मोहम्मद, एन कीर्ति पाटिल, एन कीर्ति पाटिल, कीर्ति, पिकेश एस लमानी, पिकेश, प्रज्वल गौಡ मलगौಡ,
प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके राइट. रमेश वडवडगी, रमेश वडवडगी, रतन बिरजे, रतन,
प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके. रोहन तिमसानी, रोहन, ऋतिक चोपड़े,
प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके
प्रेजेंट सर.
राइट. ऋत्विक गुणे, ऋत्विक गुणे, सदाशिव गरी, सदाशिव,
प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके
सर.
राइट. सागर तळीकेरी, सागर, साई प्रकाश, साई प्रकाश, समीर अहमद खाजी, समीर,
प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके. सानिया साहेब खान, सानिया,
प्रेजेंट सर.
राइट
प्रेजेंट सर.
राइट राइट. संजय गाडगेर, संजय गाडगेर, संकल्प अष्टगीमठ, संकल्प,
प्रेजेंट सर. प्रेजेंट सर.
राइट,
प्रेजेंट.
ओके. संकेत कुंवर,
यस सर.
ओके. शिरज मुजावर,
प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके. शिवानंदा नाटेकर, शिवनंदा नाटेकर, श्रद्धा हुंशाळ, श्रद्धा, शुभम बेकवाडकर, शुभम, राइट,
प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके. सुमित गायकवाड, सुमित, सुरैया बानो एम कुरुंदवाड,
प्रेजेंट सर.
राइट. तेजस,
प्रेजेंट सर.
तेजस, राइट. विवेक गोणी, विवेक, यमुनप्पा नरसಣ್ಣवर, यमुनप्पा नरसಣ್ಣवर, गावकर रजत रामचंद्र, गावकर रजत रामचंद्र, मंजुनाथ मेळ्ळिगेरी,
प्रेजेंट सर.
राइट. प्रथमेश पाटिल, प्रथमेश, ओके. We'll continue with the class session from where we stopped in the last class. Is the screen seen, students? Are you able to see the screen? Students,
No, sir.
No, sir.
screen is not seen.
No, sir. No, sir. Not it.
1 minute. Now, students, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. We were discussing about the fixed bias configuration or fixed bias circuit in the last class. In continuation with that, we'll solve an example on fixed bias circuit. Take this example, students, note down in your notebooks. Determine the following for the fixed bias configuration of the figure shown. Take down in your notebooks. Determine the following for the fixed bias configuration or fixed bias circuit of the figure shown. Figure is given here. This is the circuit which is given, and we are supposed to find out the values of IBQ, ICQ, VCEQ, VB and VC, and VBC. Right? Circuit is given, and in the circuit they have given the values of VCC plus 12 volts, RB value is given 240 kilo ohms, RC is 2.2 kilo ohm, beta is 50, and C1 and C2 values are 10 microfarad each. Given these values, we have to find out the values of the parameters IBQ, ICQ, VCEQ, VB and VC, and VBC. Right? Now, how to proceed here? In the last class, we have derived the equation for IBQ. What was the equation for IB or IBQ? VCC minus VBE by RB. Is it not? Equation for IB for fixed bias circuit. Just try to recollect what we discussed in the last class. Equation for IB is IB or IBQ. Q stands for operating point here. Whatever analysis we have made, we have considered the operating point of the active region, and we have made the analysis assuming that the transistor is in active region for the given operating point. So for the operating point, we have all these values IBQ, ICQ. They are nothing but same equations whatever we have derived in our last class. Okay, so IBQ or IB is equal to VCC minus VBE by RB. So that is our equation for IB, is it not? Now you can remember the equations, or you have to remember the circuit. Another way is you can remember the circuit and then you have to write the equation for input loop. So if you write the equation for this input loop here, what you get? VCC minus IBRB minus VBE is equal to 0. This is the input loop, is it not? VCC minus IBRB minus VBE is equal to 0. Then you rearrange the terms here, you get the equation IB is equal to, or IBQ is equal to VCC minus VBE by RB. So this is another way. One way is you can remember the equations, or another way is remember the circuit, write down the equation for input loop, right? You will get the equation for IB. Similarly, you will get the equation for the other parameters also when you write the equation for the output loop. Okay, output loop, right? Now we got the value of equation for IB. IB is VCC minus VBE by RB. So take this equation and find out the value of IB. What is the value of VCC given? VCC is 12 volts, is it not? So VCC is 12 volt. 12 volt minus 0.7 volt divided by 240 kilo ohms. RB they have given. RB is 240 kilo ohms. Substitute and calculate that. IB is equal to VCC minus VBE by RB. IB is equal to VCC minus VBE divided by RB. VBE divided by RB. This divided by RB. I'm using the small notations, both upper notation and small notations are same here. Okay, you can use I capital B, then V capital CC, then V capital BE, then divided by R capital B. Okay, so both upper and small notations are same, identical. I'm using for convenience, I'm using the smaller notations. Okay, so base current that will be equal to VCC is how much, students? How much is the value of VCC given? How much is the value of VCC? 12 volts. VCC is plus 12 volts. So 12 volts, right? VCC minus VB is 0.7 volts divided by RB is 240 kilo ohm. So that is 12 volt minus 0.7 volt, right? This divided by how much? This divided by RB, that is 240 kilo ohms. 240 kilo ohms. Okay. just divided by 240 ohms, 240k. Find out the value, students. How much you get here? Value of this 12 minus 0.7 divided by 240k is how much? Take your calcium, calculate. 12 minus 0.7 divided by 240k. What is the answer that you are getting? Tell me the answer. How much is the value of IB or IBQ? Yes, please. How much you are getting, students? Calculate the value. 12 minus 0.7 divided by 240k. Take your calcium and calculate. How much you are getting?
0.047.
Yes, that is 47 point in
47.
terms of microampere, 08 microampere. Am I right? 47.08 microampere. Okay. Microampere, right? Right. We got the value of IBQ. So once we found out the value of IBQ, can we find out IC? IC, can we find out IC value? What is IC given by of IC in terms of IB? What is the equation? IC is equal to beta times IB. IC is equal to beta times IB, right? Now IC is equal to beta into IB, beta into IB. So they have given the value of beta in the circuit. Beta is 50, is it not? So use 50 into beta is 50 into IB. IB we have calculated, IB or IBQ, right? Both are one and the same. So that is 50 multiplied by 47.08 microampere. 47.08 microampere. Right? What is the answer you are getting, students? IC value 50 into 47.08 microampere. How much you are getting?
2354.
2354. No, it will be in terms of milliampere. Because this is microampere, right? This is microampere, what you have here. 47.08 into 10 raised to minus 6. That also you have to consider. It is micro. Micro means 10 into 10 raised to minus 6. 10 raised to minus 6. So this is nothing but 50 into 47.08, right? Into 10 raised to minus 6 it is. 10 raised to minus 6. Okay. 10 raised to minus 6. So if you simplify this, then you have to find out the answer for this.
2.354.
Okay. 10 raised to minus 6. How much? How much is?
2.354.
Yes,
milliampere.
exactly. Correct. You are right. So the answer is 2.354 milliampere. That is approximately 35 milliampere. 2.35 milliampere. Fine. We got IBQ, we got ICQ or IC. Right. Next, what they have asked next? What is the next parameter they have asked? Let us see that. VCEQ or VCE. VCE comes in the output loop. VCE or VCEQ, this voltage between collector to emitter will come in the output loop. That means I have to write the equation for the output section, for the output path. Correct? So if I write the equation for the output path here, what will be the equation? VCC minus ICRC minus VC is equal to 0. We have written the equation in the last class. Okay. We have considered the input path separate, output path separate. We have separated VCC. Right? It is shorted. It is the same VCC here in the input path and same VCC for the output path also. So considering that, we have got the equation VCC minus ICRC minus VC is equal to 0. Or VC is equal to VCC minus ICRC. VC is equal to VCC minus ICRC. We already derived that in the last class, is it not? So let us consider that here. So VCEQ is equal to, or VC is equal to VCC minus ICRC. Write down that VCEQ is equal to VCC minus ICRC. Okay. Here I'm writing shorter notations, right? But you all write in capital only. This VCEQ, VCC, all you write in capital, right? Here I will be using the shorter conventions, shorthand conventions. Okay. VCC minus ICRC. How much is VCC, students? 12 volts minus IC we have got here 2.35 milliampere. Okay, so it is ICQRC. So it is ICQ is 2.35 milliampere. 2.35 milliampere. Consider this, right? 2.35 milliampere. Then into RC. What is the value of RC? Value of RC is given. Just see into the circuit. What is the value of RC? 2.2 kilo ohms. RC is 2.2 kilo ohms. Write down that. So this into 2.2 kilo ohms means how much? Kilo ohms means 10 raised to 3. Yes, 10 raised to 3. Okay, so 10 raised to 3. So write this. This 10 raised to 3 here. 10 raised to 3. So once you simplify this, then what you will get here? 12 minus 2.35 milliampere into 2.2 into 10 raised to 3. So just simplify this and tell me the answer. How much you are getting? Simplify it and tell me. What is the answer you are getting? VCEQ 12 minus
6.83.
6.83. Very good. 6.83 volts. 6.83 volts. 6.83 volts. Yes. Okay, fine. Then next, let us calculate the next parameter. That is VB. VB. Okay, the next parameter they asked is VB. The equation for VB, right? VB is what? What is VBE? VBE is VB minus VE. VB is VB minus VE. VB minus VE. Base to emitter voltage is voltage from base to ground minus voltage from emitter to ground. But VE is 0 for fixed bias configuration, is it not? See the circuit here. VE is 0, it is grounded. Emitter terminal is grounded. VE is 0 for emitter bias, and that is fixed bias configuration. Okay, so as the emitter is grounded or it is 0 volts, so we have VB is equal to simply VB. VB is simply is equal to VB because this V is 0. V is 0 volts, so VB minus 0 is VB. So we get VB is equal to VB. VB is equal to VB. That means if you want to find the value of VB, that is nothing but VBE. We already know that VB is nothing but 0.7 volts. 0.7 volts. Okay. VB, we got the value is how much? 0.7 volts. That is nothing but value of VB. VB is equal to 0.7 volts. Next, let us calculate the value of VC. Okay. So if you want to calculate the value of VC, we have to know the equation for VCE. Right? VCE. Just see the circuit here. VCE, this voltage, collector to emitter. Voltage between collector to emitter is nothing but voltage from collector to ground minus voltage from emitter to ground. So VCE is equal to VC minus VE. VC minus VE. This is nothing but VE is 0. It is the fixed bias configuration. So this is simply equal to VC. So VCE is equal to VC or VC is equal to VCE. We already calculated the value of VC or VCEQ. Is it not? VCEQ we have already calculated. That is nothing but value of VC. That is nothing but 6.83 volts. 6.83 volts. So we found out the value of IBQ, ICQ, VCEQ, VBE, VCEQ. Okay. Next, what is the value that you are supposed to find? VB is done, VC is done. Okay. Then the next value remaining is VBC. Last one, VBC. VBC is equal to VB minus VC. VB minus VC. So VB is nothing but VBQ, and VC is nothing but VCQ. Just you have to put Q there. Okay, you will get all the values, right? VCEQ, VBEQ, like that. VCEQ. Then VBQ is VB, whatever we have found out, that is 0.7. It is there here, see, VB 0.7 volts, right? It is nothing but VBQ, correct? So VBQ is how much? 0.7 volts, 0.7 volts minus VCQ. This is our VCQ. VCQ we already calculated, right? This one VCQ 6.3 volts. So this is minus 6.83 volts. 6.83 volts. If we simplify this, then what we will get, students? Minus how much? 0.7 minus 6.83 minus how much you're getting? 6.13 volt, minus 6.13 volt. Now why we are getting minus here? We are getting minus here because the base to collector voltage is minus. That is, base to collector is reverse biased. Base to collector is reverse biased. We know that if you want the transistor to operate in active region, emitter to base should be forward biased, base to collector should be reverse biased, right? So we have come to the conclusion that the transistor is in active region, right? Because emitter to base is forward bias condition, base to collector should be reverse bias condition for the transistor to operate in linear region or in the active region, right? So as we are getting here VBC, that is base to collector voltage negative, it is reverse bias. So that means the transistor is working in active region or the linear region. Okay, students. So this example is clear here, students. Yes, this example is clear. We have calculated IB, IC, VCE, VB, VC, and finally VBC, right? Given the circuit here. Okay. So is this example understood, students? Example is clear here? Yes. Example is clear to everyone? This example is understood? Yes. Understood or not? Is it clear? Please reply. Is the example understood? Is the example understood here? Yes? Yes or no? Example is understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Ratan? Understood. Okay, fine. Ratan, understood the example?
Understood.
Ratan?
Understood. Yes, sir.
Understood? Okay, fine, fine. Sania, understood the example? Sania?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Shubham, understood? Bekwadkar?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Fine. Tejas, was it understood? Tejas?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. Manjunath, Melligeri, understood? Manjunath? Manjunath is not there? Okay. Chandrasekhar, understood? Patar? Chandrasekhar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine, fine. We'll continue then. We'll go ahead. Okay. Take this homework problem, students. Determine the same parameters for the fixed bias configuration of the above figure. Given RB is equal to 220K, RC is equal to 1.2K, and VCC is equal to plus 10 volts. Take it for homework. Same for the same circuit, same equations, just the values are different. In examination, what they are giving is they are changing the values, right? They will change these values. It will not be same what we are solving. It may not be the same thing. Just equations will be same, but they will change the values and give. In examination, just they will change the values and they will ask you to find out the parameters. Okay. Take this homework problem. Determine the same parameters for the fixed bias configuration of above figure. Given RB is equal to 220K, RC is equal to 1.2K, and VCC is equal to plus 10 volts. Note down this. Circuit is same. It is fixed bias circuit. Fixed bias circuit. Did you all note down, students? Abhay, noted down? Abhay? Abhay Joshi? Mahadev, noted down the example. Mahadev. This problem you all noted down. Homework problem.
Yes, sir.
Mahadev. Okay, right, fine. Next is transistor saturation. Next topic. So the term saturation, what is meant by saturation, students? When we say that the transistor is in saturation region, or when we say that transistor is in saturation, we say that the transistor is in saturation when the collector current is maximum. When collector current is maximum, we say that the transistor is in saturation, right? So for saturation region, both the emitter bias condition, emitter bias junction and base collector junction should be forward biased if you want to operate the transistor in saturation region. Is it not? If you want to operate in active region, emitter base junction should be forward biased, base collector junction should be reverse biased. Correct? Now for a given circuit, right, for a particular design, right, for a particular design, saturation current or the maximum current is fixed for a particular design. If the design changes, then the operating point changes. As operating point changes, the collector current also changes. That means for a given design, for the given circuit, the collector current maximum is fixed, right? The term saturation is applied to any system where levels have reached maximum values. For transistor operating in saturation region, current is maximum for particular design. Okay, so highest current or highest saturation level is nothing but the maximum collector current. So if we want to operate the transistor in active region or linear region, we have to avoid the transistor to operate in saturation region. The reason is, if we operate the transistor in saturation region, then this will distort the output signal. This is going to distort the output signal, and hence we have to avoid operating the transistor in saturation region until unless it is very much essential. Clear, students? So saturated conditions are avoided because the base collector junction is no longer reverse biased. Because in active region, we want the base collector junction should be reverse biased. Is it not? But if you operate the transistor in saturation region, the base collector junction will not be in reverse bias condition. It will be in forward bias condition. Yes or no? So because of this, what will happen? The output amplified signal will be distorted. Right? This is the circuit which determines IC set, that is collector saturation current for the fixed bias configuration. How to find out the saturation current for the fixed bias configuration? If you want to find out the saturation current for the fixed bias configuration, right, then try to recollect what we discussed in the last class, that is a graph of IC versus VCE. Graph of IC versus VCE, and in the next forthcoming slides also we will be discussing about this. So IC versus VCE, when we consider the graph of IC versus VCE, you can see here, this is IC, this is VCE, IC versus VCE, and various curves we are getting for different values of base currents. Okay, so here for this particular base current, this is the operating point Q. Okay, now what we are supposed to find is saturation current. Saturation current. So for saturation current to be maximum, the collector to emitter voltage should be 0. Right? If we consider on y-axis, this is our y-axis, collector current. Okay. So on y-axis here, if we consider the condition VCE as 0, then we'll get the maximum collector current. Maximum collector current. That is what is defined by this point, given by this point. Similarly, on the x-axis, IC will be 0, but we have voltage maximum. Okay, voltage VCE or VCC will be maximum on the x-axis. On the y-axis, it is the IC, collector current. Therefore, the collector to emitter voltage will be 0. For this condition, we will be getting the maximum collector current, that is IC max. Okay, so if we want to find out the saturation current, we have to make VCE is equal to 0 volts on y-axis. I want on y-axis of the graph. So I want on y-axis of the graph means VCE is equal to 0 volts. Okay, on x-axis it is VCE, it is VCE line. So on VCE line, IC will be 0, right? IC will be 0. On y-axis, IC IC line VC will be 0. Okay, and IC will be maximum saturation current. So VC is 0 volts. VC is 0 volts. If VC is 0 volts, it is nothing but short circuit. Correct? When voltage is 0, it is nothing but short circuit. Right? So for open circuit condition, the resistance is infinite. Is it not? For short circuit condition, resistance is almost 0 or it is 0. So V is equal to I into R for short circuit condition. R is 0 for short circuit. So V will be equal to 0. So VC is equal to 0 volts here. So that is represented by the short circuit condition between collector to emitter. So that is the short circuited path here. You can see here VCE is short circuited. Now if VCE is short circuited, right, it is a single path between collector to emitter, straight path, single path. If it was not short circuited, means the whatever this VCC voltage is there, that will appear across RC and also appear across VCE. This VCC voltage, whatever is being applied here, right, that appears across RC and also appears across collector to emitter, VCE. But as VCE is shorted here, therefore whatever this VCC is applied, that is coming across RC only. That is coming across, the drop is only across the RC, because this is a path now, shorted path. Okay, there is no voltage drop here. Correct. Therefore, I have shown this VRC, voltage across this resistance RC, as VCC. VRC is nothing but it is equal to this voltage VCC. Are you following here, students? Yes. So VRC will be equal to VCC, because this is a shorted path. There is no voltage drop here across VCE. Therefore, whatever voltage VCC is applied, that comes across RC. That is VRC is equal to VCC. Okay. So if we want to find maximum collector current or saturation level for a particular design, then we have to use the short circuited path between collector to emitter of the transistor. Then the resulting collector current. How to calculate the resulting collector current? Now if I apply the formula here, that is KVL to this output path, what I get here? VCC minus ICRC minus VC. VC is 0. So VCC minus ICRC minus VC is equal to 0. So let me write the equation. That is VCC minus ICRC minus VCE is equal to 0. Real equation, right? But VCE is short circuit. What is VCE? VCE is short circuit. It's short circuit. So as it is short circuit, what will be the voltage for short circuit? That is nothing but 0 volts. 0 volts. Okay, 0 volts. Now substitute 0 volts in this equation. So VC is 0. What we get here? VCC minus ICRC minus 0 is equal to 0. Or this is nothing but VCC minus ICRC is equal to 0. Right? Now get the equation for IC. So VCC is equal to ICRC. VCC is equal to ICRC. Therefore, what we get? IC is equal to VCC, this divided by RC. This divided by RC. IC is equal to VCC divided by RC. This is the equation for collector current. Did you follow here, students? Did you all follow here? How you got the equation for IC? Because VC is short circuit, VC is 0 volts. Therefore, I applied the KVL for the output path. Then I got IC is equal to VCC by RC. Right? So that is what we are getting here. That is what is shown here. VCC minus IC sat into RC minus VC is equal to 0, or VCC minus IC sat into RC is equal to 0, because VC is 0 or IC saturation is VCC by RC. So we got the equation for the collector current. Right? Now the design should be such that the maximum collector current should always be less than the saturation level. Why? Why the maximum collector current should be less than the saturation level? Anybody can answer this? Why the saturation current should be less than the maximum collector current? Yes? What is the reason? What is the reason? Maximum collector current or saturation current should be less than the saturation level. maximum collector current should always be less than the saturation level for linear amplification. I have written here for linear amplification because we want always the transistor to operate in active region for linear amplification for constant gain, right? What we discussed in the last class, constant gain, output voltage by input voltage will remain constant throughout the entire range of the input signal if the transistor is operated in the active region. Is it not? So for that reason, what we are doing is we are keeping the maximum collector current always less than the saturation level for linear amplification. Next is load line analysis with fixed bias circuit. Load line analysis with fixed bias circuit. Okay. So here, as I told, we are drawing the graph of IC versus VCE, which is the output characteristics for a transistor, IC versus VCE for different values of base current. Right, for different values of base current. Okay, then we are getting the condition here. First, what is the equation that we have tried here? The equation for the output loop, that is VCC minus ICRC minus VC is equal to 0. Write down that equation first. We'll write down that VCC minus ICRC minus VCE is equal to 0. This is our equation for the output path. This is the equation for the output loop. Right. Now, based on this equation, now we have to check for the conditions. So, what is the condition here is on x-axis. On x-axis, what is the value of collector current on x-axis? Collector current is how much on x-axis here on VCE line? Yes. What is the value of collector current on VCE line? How much it is? Collector current. Yes. How much is the value of collector current on VCE line, x-axis? How much it is? Sadashiv, can you tell me that? Sadashiv Gari. What is the value of the collector? Sadashiv, can you tell me what is the collector current on VCE line?
VCE line, sir.
Yes, please. On this VCE line, what is the value of collector current on x-axis?
0, sir.
Very
0.
good. It is 0. Correct. Exactly. So IC is 0. So substitute that in this equation. So we'll write the first condition on x-axis. IC is 0. IC is 0. So when IC is 0, what we get here? VCC minus 0. IC is 0 minus 0 minus VCE is equal to 0. Right? Or VCE is equal to VCC. VC is equal to VCC. This is one of the equations. VC is equal to VCC on x-axis when IC is 0. So for IC is 0, right? For IC 0, what we are getting VCC is equal to VCE or VC is equal to VCC. Okay, this is one of the equations. Then next, now what will be the value of the collector to emitter voltage on IC line? Is same, is it not? So if we consider on y-axis, the value of VCE will be 0. If you are considering on x-axis, the value of IC will be 0. Correct? Now, if I consider on y-axis, that is IC line here, y-axis, VC will be 0 volts on this y-axis. So substitute that VC is equal to 0 volts here. This is our fundamental equation. VCC minus ICRC minus VC is equal to 0. So write down that VCC minus ICRC minus VCE is equal to 0. Okay. This is the basic equation. This is our basic equation. So in this equation, now what we have to substitute? Previously we substituted IC is equal to 0. Now we are substituting VC is equal to 0. If we substitute VC is equal to 0, then what will be the equation? VCC minus ICRC minus ICRC minus 0 is equal to 0 because VC is 0. Therefore, what we get? VCC minus ICRC is equal to 0. Or ICRC is equal to VCC. IC/RC is equal to VCC. Therefore, IC will be equal to what? VCC divided by RC. VCC divided by RC. Right, students? This is the equation for when the condition is VC is equal to 0. VC is equal to 0. So when VC is equal to 0, IC is equal to VCC by RC. VCC by RC. Okay. So we are using the same two conditions. That is IC is equal to 0. We get VC is equal to how much? VCC. Okay. That is on x-axis. Then on y-axis, we used VC is equal to 0 and we got the equation IC is equal to VCC by RC. Right. That is what is being shown here in the graph. So on x-axis, when IC is equal to 0, right, VC is equal to VCC. This is VC is equal to VCC. This point here, this dot, it shows VC is equal to VCC when IC is 0. Next, when VCE is 0, when VCE is 0, what equation we got? What is the equation when VCE is equal to 0? IC is equal to VCC by RC. IC is equal to VCC by RC. Right. So this is the point VCC by RC. IC is VCC by RC. I am placing a point here. Now these 2 points I will join by a straight line. That is VCC by RC and VCC. These 2 points I am joining by a straight line. Wherever this straight line cuts the IB curve, this is called as the load line. Okay. So this line which is joining these 2 points, that is the point where VCE is 0 and IC is 0. The line which is joining these 2 points, it is called as the load line. And this load line, wherever it is cutting or wherever it is intersecting the base current curve, this is the base current curve, wherever it is intersecting the base current curve, that is called as the Q point or the quiescent point. Right? It is called as the Q point or the quiescent point. Fine, students. So this is called as the load line analysis for the fixed bias circuit. Load line analysis for the fixed bias circuit. Okay. So that is the equations we have written here. DC load line is done by using these equations. That is VC is equal to VCC we got, and IC is equal to VCC by RC. Right, students? Then here near this region, IC is equal to 0 because this is the region of cutoff region. Right? We discussed in our last class cutoff region. It is here IB equal to 0 or IC is equal to 0 here. Collector current of the transistor is 0. If you want to operate a transistor in cutoff condition, right? Both the junctions should be reverse biased. That is, emitter base junction is reverse biased, base collector junction is also reverse biased. Is it not? Then only we can operate the transistor in the, that is, cutoff condition. Then here, if we consider here, VC is 0. It is nearer to the VC is equal to 0. Here all these points. Because this curves, whatever they are moving here, moving out here, right? They are touching this vertical axis. They are touching this vertical line. That is VC is 0 here on this y-axis. It is the IC line, correct? So this is the load line analysis with the fixed bias circuit. Okay. Now, after considering this load line analysis, if we look into this circuit, now this is for one of the IBQ curve. So this IBQ curve here, a base current curve, we are getting this Q point. Now for this IB current, this base current, the Q point will be here. Then for this base current, the Q point will be here because it is intersecting the base current curve there. See here, for this base current, it is intersecting here. This is our Q point. For this base current IB3, it is intersecting here. This is a Q point for IB3. Then for IB1, it is intersecting the curve here. IB1 curve is intersecting the load line here. So its Q point is here. Right? So this is showing the movement of Q point with the increasing level of IB. So as IB goes on increasing, so first it is 0 microampere, then 5 microampere, 10, 15, 20, 25 like that. Okay. So as IB goes on increasing, the Q points also shifts in the upward direction. It also moves in the upward direction. Effect of increasing level of RC on load line and Q point. Now this is our VCC by RC on the y-axis. VCC by RC on the y-axis, is it not? Now if we consider this VCC by RC on the y-axis, and if we consider the condition R3 greater than R2 greater than R1, this is VCC by R1, this is VCC by R2, this is VCC by R3. Right? So VCC by RC, it is the same RC. So for the first one here, if we consider R1 is, R3 is greater than R2. So when denominator is greater, what happens to the value? It will decrease. because it is inversely proportional. Denominator, if it increasing, then the value will go on decreasing. If denominator goes on increasing, the total value, right, of the ratio will go on increasing. Correct? So R3 is greater here. R3 is greater than R2. R3 is greater than R2. So as R3 is larger here, this value is less. So this is the point it is intersecting on the y-axis. Then R2 is greater than R2 is R3 is greater than R2. R2 is less than R3. Okay, so R2 is less than R3. One minute. R2 is greater than R3 is greater than R2. So it is greater here. Then R2 is less than R1. R2 is less than R1. Okay, so is R2 is R2 is greater than R1. R2 is greater than R1. So denominator term is more. So the total value will be less. So we are getting less here on the y-axis. And VCC by R1 is R1 is it is less than R2 and R3. R1 is less than R2 and R3. So as R1 is less here, the total value will increase. So we are getting more here, right, on IC. Then VCC is fixed. VCC is not changing. Then when we draw the load line, so this is how we are getting the Q point here. On the same IBQ curve, the Q point is shifting for different values of RC or for different values of R, right, which is in the denominator. Okay, this is how they are shifting. Fine, friends. So this is how the Q point shift when the denominator term, that is RC, VCC by RC it is it not here? VCC by RC. We are considering it as R1, R2 and R3. That is nothing but RC only. RC only, we are considering it as R1, R2 and R3. Okay. So this is how it shifts. Okay. So next, effect of varying VCC on Q point. If VCC varies, now if the numerator term varies, previously we saw denominator term changing. Now if numerator is changing, VCC. Okay, so VCC1 is greater than VCC2. So that's why its total value is more. It is having more value here. VCC1 is more than VCC2. Then VCC2 is more than VCC3. That is why it is having more magnitude. Its value is more on the y-axis. Right? VCC3 is less than VCC1 and VCC2. That's why its value is also less. Then as VCC are changing, this is VCC1, it is greater than VCC2, then VCC2 is greater than VCC3. Then join these. Wherever this load line cuts the IBQ curve, there you get the Q point. Again, you can see the Q point, they're shifting here. Okay, Q point are shifting for different values of VCC, Okay. Right, students? So in today's class, what all we discussed, students? We started with what? An example. We started with an example. We solved the example for the fixed bias circuit, right? Then next we discussed about transistor saturation condition. We defined what is saturation, that is the maximum collector current. It is nothing but the saturation level, right? Then how to find out the saturation current by setting VC is equal to 0 volts, right? That will help us to find out the value of saturation current. Then once we determine that equation IC sat is equal to VCC by RC, then next we went through load line analysis with fixed bias circuit. So this is how we are analyzing the load line analysis, that is by considering the condition IC is equal to 0 and VC is equal to 0. We get the two equations, that is VC is equal to VCC on the x-axis and IC is equal to VCC by RC on the y-axis. So based on this, we analyzed for different values, that is for changing values of IB, how the Q point will change, and for changing value of the denominator, that is RC term or R1, R2 and R3, when they are changing, how the Q point will change, and when the numerator term VCC changes, how the Q point is changing. Okay. So is it understood, students, here? Everybody understood here? Yes? Everyone understood? Any difficulty here? Anything not understood? Any questions here? Yes, please. Any questions? Sankalp? Any questions? Sankalp?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Sanket? Sanket?
No, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Shiraj, understood? Shiraj?
Yes, sir.
Shiraj Mujawar, clear? Concepts are clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, then in the next class, I'll be explaining load line analysis. We'll solve example on load line analysis, and then we'll continue with the emitter bias circuit. Okay, so first one is fixed bias, next one is emitter bias circuit. I'll be explaining the emitter bias circuit, and then we'll solve example on emitter bias circuit. That will take up in the next class. Thank you.